underway again. Activ8 versus the Fancy Rec team. So, hey Mitch. Now, which team would you call the Fancy Rec team? I feel like they are identical in terms of their attire.
I was almost expecting like some
ties or
like
bow
one of those
ties
t-shirts
would have been exactly
yeah.
the fake tux.
Yeah,
that'd be
something
quite
like that.
Bonus would have been little bow ties though.
Yes.
So our research and analytics department will look into which team is which. Two shots fired, none connecting.
I think that's a tough thing too. Sometimes when there's teams with like a mix of different jerseys from different teams and such, it's hard to tell which team would be which for. Oh wow! Almost had a jumping catch there.
The more important part is there's a burden on one of these teams on why they refer to themselves as the fancy team. As you see like them holding their pinky fingers up as they throw. And so on the near end, we've determined it is the Fancy Rec team and Activ8 on the far end. Many balls, 3 players. Bit of a high-low, but nothing connecting. And that Raven number 11 showing how to connect.
I'm loving that jersey on the other side for Activ8 here, the Thrill Murray. Wow, great counter.
Yeah, it was well timed, and part of the end result is a point on the board in favor of Activ8.
Oh, it looks like the Fancy team does have some jerseys.
Oh.
Yeah, the Fancy Rec team, it looks like.
That jersey, okay, yeah, I'd say we have 4 of them on court. Maybe a 5th in the corner there.
Yeah, I guess all the black shirts. So basically everybody but 1 or 2. 3. No,
kind
2.
Of that,
2.
maybe a little late 1800s. We're going to go kind of Sherlock Holmesian era fonts. We're looking at the Fancy Recreation team. Play call coming out of center. Out fakes.
Quick play call. Good hits. Something you want to see from these rec teams too is those quick play calls so you can. Oh wow, those grips.
Yeah, like you might, the temptation to go in, you have your huddle, you decide. Once you're playing at this level, that 10-second clock will continue to be your enemy if it's like too slow for the play call. And to deliberate becomes just like, if the other team is good at countering, you're very vulnerable then.
Yes.
And that's like, I would compare it to like military strategies of like, if your team marches like the British forces, the guerrilla warfare style ends up just being so advantageous. As the hero, Marcus Robbie provides proper seat here for Mitch, a throne for him to continue to do his broadcasting. As smiles abound as he goes off here. 2 players remain for, I was going to say innovate, Activ8 against the Fancy Dodgeball team. In and out of the grips. Tag, but too late. Bonus tap. 3 players against 1. Springing down. See, that was a great move. It didn't work out for her. I actually was wondering if she was going to hop. Just that, like, you could see keeping her body activated.
Yeah, she was ready for it, but it looks like they threw the 3 balls there, Fancy team, and I think it was the very last one that was sort of like that sort of drop, like unintentional, just dropping right down and hitting her, like the unexpected one. Like I was saying earlier, it's almost like those the lighter ones, the ones that you expect to be able to dodge, but it just comes in last second and tags you.
And it's one of the most perplexing things is like especially talking to rec players who might start with a natural slow throw, and slow throws tend to have a lot of vertical movement.
Yeah.
And because you might be like, oh, I throw hard and straight. It's like, yeah, like a bullet into my gloves.
Yep.
Right, like and that's called pitching and catching cutting, right? And so it's like, as a high-level player, you working on more unpredictability on movement in the throw. Ironically, a new player who has a slow throw has vertical arc like nobody's business, as we have a good catch there and the trailer tags. And so just kind of saying to someone, hey, like you have an unorthodox throw, even like the slow part might be an issue, but kind of leveraging it with a team throw becomes a superpower there.
Yeah, like it's unintentional strategy basically. It works out in their favor a lot, especially like what we just saw in the last round. You throw in the 3 balls, and then that third trailing one was the lighter one.
Bingley taking that ball in the left wing. Top performer yesterday, seeing some familiar names.
Love the shoes too. Gold with the teal. I'm a sucker for big shoes, or nice shoes.
Attempted catch there.
A lot of solo throws. They seem to be working out for each team today, but it's interesting how many solo throws have happened. Out of turn, too.
Two wingers squaring off against one another. The jerseyed Lomax. So yeah, Aaron Lomax, if that is that. Wearing the Raven jersey. There might be an actual Aaron Lomax other than the thrower, which might make sense. Raven is a women's team from yesterday, so I'm guessing he's repping their jersey.
Yeah, they're from Ontario, right? And I believe they qualified as well for nationals.
Chuck's played really well. Oh, great catch, Bing.
Good teamwork.
And yeah, and like the typical thing that could happen is too much friendliness. Is like, oh, I think you're gonna catch. No, you think, and then you're like, you just watch it drop between you two.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you got it. Oh no, I got it. Oh, you got it.
So good presence there for Bing to just stay with and rip the ball into the bench.
Well-timed counter.
2v5. Stays up at it.
Looks like it just grazed them.
Well, if you could be anyone in the world, be Batman. So let's see how it goes. Oh, Brendan Naughty.
Oh, man.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. And I'd say this is probably one of the most even matches we've watched since our showdown of the corporate brands.
Yeah, I could see this. I could see this going back and forth, for sure.
We got Venkman in the corner. Are you choosing a Bill Murray character, or yeah? Because we don't have a Venkman on the roster. Okay, that must be it. That when you're on Thrill Murray's, you could choose one of his characters.
Oh, yeah.
And he decided to go Ghostbusters. And at the line, 2 on target.
I'd be curious to see the other jerseys for that Thrill Murray's. I wonder if it's just that one, well, unless there is different characters for each.
Well, but that's not Venkman's picture. That's just they chose our picture because, or unless they chose like the most recent rebooted Ghostbusters. So,
oh yeah.
Would you have a favorite Bill Murray character?
I want to say Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's kind of like the ultimate Bill Murray before he's part of like Wes Anderson kind of films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peak Bill. Let's see Ferguson there on the right wing, moving forward. Sean Ferguson rips it.
Ferguson, by the way, great mitts. He's a great catcher. I actually played him yesterday, and I swear I could have had him. I lined him straight up, put everything into my throw, caught it, no big deal. Stared me down, like, wow. You got to clap and applaud that one. It was amazing. Very good player. Getting a little loose there.
Resets the shot clock.
So 30 seconds left.
Activ8. You see a full send. Okay, and situations like that, it makes sense, especially when Nada takes out Brendan Nadi. There's only now 13 seconds, although they get their own opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe a more optimal in this final 4 seconds here would be okay to throw 2 and then throw another 2. Can I take that full 30 seconds of being yours?
Yeah.
And we are at the end of the first half. No blocking. There's a player advantage on the Fancy Rec team. And so they will have the burden to throw. Ooh, getting nice and low. Lee and sends it. The back line Batman sends one, but misses Ferguson.
Oh, right, almost snagged it in there.
And that's a couple times I've seen her put hand out and then wanting to go hand, knee, close.
Yeah.
I would want to see if, like, other times she's successful with that. Hopefully Terry Thrasher sees the ball beside. Oh, the retriever. Maloney's hair.
Watch that.
Flowing.
Reaching.
Mitch, look away. Don't want you to be too distracted by his flow. And good work here. Now, end of the half. First game, he was the talk of the town. We were watching the flow, and he's like, you can't match that with CGI.
No. No way. It's another thing you see in rec is that more often than not, you're going to see a lot of people try to reach for the catches.
Yeah.
And
the old greedy fingers.
It sometimes can work out, but on the other end, it could really hurt your fingers too, especially if the throw was hard enough. That's where you're going to jam your fingers. And not fun.
And that's, like, I think another reason why I suggest to people of thinking of your armpits and your hips as your catch spots is you're not going to reach with your hips.
Well, no,
like to the extent that you can is okay.
Yeah.
And kind of moving your chest to a catch.
Yeah.
But then if you think, oh, my hands are what I catch with, they reach well outside of that healthy zone. And it's even at the top level. I remember one of the Manitoba provincial games, it hit a player on the left side, and it just moonshotted over, and someone put a hand out.
Yes.
And they're like looking at themselves, and you're like, you want to cut your hand off. You're like, what did I just do?
Sometimes it's reactionary too. Like you're like, oh, maybe I can get this. I think the one that you're talking about too, it was a 2v2, so it's a little bit riskier to do that.
Yeah. Opening rush of this second half, 1-3, and very good strike.
Good start here to the round for Activ8.
Oh man, there's the windup of the windups of the potential windmill get taken out before a release. So, and this is more of a team formation thing. Is that whole, like, the standing at the back line?
Yeah.
What you'd like to see is a wave motion, or like something where there's like cacophonous movement of multiple people. And again, you have to coordinate with your teammates. It's like if one of you just kind of wants to stand at the back line, great. But if the others have like a 3 or 4 foot that they're moving up and back or around, it also deals with the fact that when there's 6 of you, there's nowhere. Right?
No.
And, the moment you want to move out of the way, you really actually can't. Okay, so she's got a style for sure. Like she likes to involve her knee in attempting to catch.
Yeah, almost like hug it in sort of thing. I mean, at least there she didn't reach. It was just had the square up body. Just didn't work out that well. No, like you were saying though, with the back line lineup, ideally you want like a sort of staggered.
Pop, pop, pop. 1, 2, 3, taken out, and now comeback kids here.
Closer game now. We got a game.
Activ8.
No, especially with those corners though, you want them staying as active as possible, putting in those fakes, putting in that pressure, keep the other team guessing. Or are they going to take this pre-counter? Are they going to like rush us? You never know. But if you're just standing at the back line, it's a little bit more predictable in a way. Sometimes it works out though.
Yep. Both sides ready. Opening rush is very effective for Activ8 before. Unfortunately, ball was not placed too well. So the white tee pitcher was not able to repeat history. And Mr. Nice People here going hard on Lomax. Lomax, not Lomax. Is that, we were talking about before, Sean Ferguson there, I think, on the right wing?
Yes.
One of the Nice People.
Oh. He had the right hand placement on the block, but I think maybe just extend the arms out a little bit more so then it avoids that ride up of the arms onto the chest. He had the right idea.
Burden to throw on Activ8. 4 players, 4 balls, 5 balls. So often you'll look to the player that has 2 in hand in that situation and teams it up. And there are no Nice People left on the fancy team.
I feel like that was a good choice too, especially going for that player with the one ball. It eliminates that possibility of that quick counter.
Good movement and transition here. No eliminations though, so 4 players, 4 balls for the fancy team.
Good movement.
Targeting together. I like that jersey too.
Yeah, I think it's just Peachy Keen.
Yeah,
I think it's the name.
So friendly, some of these teams.
Yeah.
So
Nice
funny.
people.
There's like it's like 2 extremes. There's like murderous, like we are venom, we are destroy you, carnage, rip you apart, right?
Yeah, so aggressive.
and then it's just the friendliest, unbelievable. Hey-oh.
Big catch.
Hey,
right back to
speaking
another.
of big catch, the momentum just kept pushing her back, but of course that catch is good. She had 2 points of contact.
Secured the catch anyway.
Brings Bingley back. I feel like we have fewer teams with an innuendo as their team name.
Yeah, I'm honestly
phased out.
surprised. Yeah.
That's like the ultimate kind of recce wreck. Is like a play on words with dodgeball, or it's somewhat crass.
I feel like you would see that more often with rec too. But yeah,
This is the upper rec.
Yeah.
We have the fancy team here. Indubitably.
I mean, you got to mix. You got to mix with some teams with some definitely competitive players. So maybe that helps. Ooh, that last trailing one.
Good shot. Yeah, the team's throwing.
It's always that last throw. Always the last ball that tags you out because you can get the movement for the initials, but then just that last one. All tied up now.
On the Thrill Murray, there's a whole paragraph of text.
Looks like it's backwards. I'd have to see that later. See what it actually says. Maybe just a bunch of quotes or something, or movies.
Defensive formation here by Activ8, and it works out for them. They stay alive. Oh man, another physical activity to learn. Backpedaling.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Chris Valance, you've got to know, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Elite backpedaler.
Oh yeah.
And
He's
throwing
very,
at
very
him
good.
and he's backpedaling, you're like, ha ha ha, I've got you. And
Nope.
it's like, no, he's got you.
Yep. Right where he wants it too. Whew. Big hops. Didn't work out well this time, but
We've talked about cardio earlier. It's just the hidden part of cardio within dodgeball is the back pedal.
yeah.
And it's yet another thing that targets your posterior chain. So not only are we squatting way more times than he realized. He just does Thusly.
That's why, especially after a tournament like this, the next day you're going to be feeling it like crazy in the calves. The calves and the quads, hamstrings. It's all that backpedaling, side to side. Woo! Oop. Missile.
Sneaky throw while he's still on the attack line. Big pump fake. Fancy people are staying at the back line.
So just down to 2 minutes left. This may or may not go right to sudden death. This last round.
Pop.
Guess it must have grazed his fingers. Or
Yeah.
It's always nice to see that the very honest play style.
And looks like Ryan Peachy Keen's calling her a number. She does. Goes wide of his target. And and I love
it.
Yeah, that's the time when you can scoop, because when you've got the 2 balls in hand, that also acts as like the closing the door. Right?
Nice little barrier sort of thing. Oh boy.
It was very deliberate, almost like kind of cricket-like in the way he was sending it. And sends a hammer down on Ryan. 2v4. And he protects. It's the second one that does it.
See, now if I'm fancy team, I almost want to run this down. Oh, okay, that works too. But then in a way, if you run it down when you're up players, and there's at this point 1 minute left, game is, oh now it's 4-3. Okay, it was 3-3, but yeah, with the game tied, run that clock down.
And then boom, take your win. Yep.
Exactly. Because then you can take it right to sudden death with player advantage, game tied, win it, and that's it.
It's one of those things when you're in between that rec and competitive, there's a transition of becoming competitive, which can feel odd.
Yes.
And you know, there's some people nationally kind of like they treat dodgeball as a children's game, and it's like well, most sports are also children's games. By the way, right?
At some point, yeah.
Like, guys,
at the beginning.
This is soccer. It's a children's game. Like, excuse me. Where do we think we learn it?
No, exactly.
But it is that kind of, hey, let's use the clock now.
Yeah.
And I think it is tough to tell a fellow rec team, right?
Well, because they're not going to use that at the beginning when you do start playing dodgeball. You don't always take into account the time and then use that as a way for your strategy. Everything you just sort of play and then hope to hit, hope to catch, and that's it.
And Naughty sends it high and outside, resets the shot clock. Now the burden of throw will be on Activ8. Hard throw, right on target. Good one.
Oh, that was an unlucky double.
That was also a loud cheer that the mic is picking up there, Mitch. Oh, no. Okay. 3 players remaining. On the side of Activ8. Send one right on target. Shoe shot, snipe. Naughty delivers. He is alive and is protected by that ball. 2v3 advantage on the near side. Activ8 for now and continues 3-1. Okay, remember no blocking. And she decides to just take it on the thighs, and it's 4-4. So your time strategy would have paid off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is probably why it would have been better to use that time, eat up that clock. There's only the 1 minute left. You had player advantage. But
and speaking of time, okay, see what we did there? We are going to be taking a 15-minute break potentially. Don't hold me to that because
not exactly.
The clock is sacred. So at 10:45 a.m., which probably seems accurate, we will begin the round robin of mixed rec, so playoffs.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.